the rhythms and the songs. See, I got all my rhythms at this point in my life. My West African rhythms came from the women. No, Yana and now about to. It's some bad. Now, you wouldn't believe them girls was from no America.
They look African. They dress African.
Cleveland girls, right there. Now she got her own dance company singing Orumila Talade Baba Mo for Ibale. She heard me sing that song one day and she never stopped singing it ever since. Library, this is years and years of kids from years ago. Let's see. Dayton Cultural Festival, we got Richard Bird, Larry, and Chief Bay here.
What year was that?
I don't know what year was that. Lucumy's on this show too. Look at Larry. I got the video of this one, so that's really cool. You can always see Canute's on that show. That's Canute right there. I flew them to Dayton to do that show. So one thing about them brothers, they would always show up when you give them the cue to come, they would come. This is a wedding I did. I married a couple. They also flew me back for renewing their vows. Drummers, more drummers. We built everything. Everything we play on, we built. And proudly, everything we're playing on here, that Chief Bay built all of those drums. Wow. Now these drums come from wood from right here in Connecticut. A guy in Connecticut cut those logs down and brought them to Brooklyn and gave them to Chief Bay.
Chief Strong. He strung a drum for my son, and Lade took it. He never brought it back.
Who?
Lade.
Who's Lade?
Juwande, Betty Barney's son.
Oh, Milton Cardona and Jose Manuel Jr. in my house in Cleveland.
What? Jose's son?
Jose Manuel Jr.
Really?
The one that sings with Jimmy Sabateur. That was our third wife right there, Halima. She's a one-woman show. She get on stage by herself and don't nobody else have to come.
And that's done with the apons. And I know that you also sing as an apón. But some of those other apons that have performed with you, who are they and what is your experience with them?
Well, you see, first of all, we have never really had a real apón here in the United States that was born in this country. We're all trying to learn how to do that. That's very special, wonderful job. In order to be it's just like Babalawo. If you are a Babalawo, you know all these things. Now, if you don't know all these things, then you're studying to be a Babalawo. So everybody, I feel, is studying to be an apón. There ain't no apóns here yet. Because it's too much to learn to say you're all of that. It is really a lot to learn. You have got to learn so much. You need to know all the dances, you need to know all the rhythms, you need to know all the apataki. And in order to know the apataki, you got to know the Odu, where the apataki comes from. That's what an apón does. You're singing according to the story that you know that's going to ignite and open up this person's ashe so that the Orisha can ascend or descend to them. And you need to know what this person's Orisha is, you know the role of the person's Orisha, and you need to be somewhat of a musician also to know melody and pitch. Because whatever room you're in, you got to know how your voice affects that room. If the ceiling is too high, you could lose your voice in a place like that because you're trying to hear yourself and it just goes on and on and on, never gives you a feedback, you don't hear yourself. So you over-sing sometimes. It all depends. Knowing how to sing helps you from doing that. I used to really enjoy singing for the Orisha, and I still enjoy it now. But there's been, like I said before, too much arguing and fighting about something that nobody knows anything about. I'm not ever going to be a part of anything like that ever again. Why fight about something you don't know nothing about? That's the bottom line. The apón is absolutely necessary, and we have only a few people that are daring to even try to learn to be that. And it's the same thing like how many people will learn to be an Oriete or even take on the responsibilities of Ifa. We don't have many people that are doing that, but it's even less people that are trying to be the apón. Because you're up front, in front of everybody, and you're out front. You really have to have a lot of things together. For example, you got to have cool nerves. Nerves of steel. Relax. And you have to know your stuff as well. Richard Byrd is the only black American, although his timing has a lot to learn. He has a lot to learn about timing. He has a lot to learn about what the songs mean. But he has gone further, in my opinion, than any other black American male in this. Ama is got a very beautiful voice. I love to hear her sing. But she too, just like all of us, there's only certain songs she sings well. There's other songs she shouldn't sing at all. Just like me, there's certain songs that I'll sing, I ain't never been singing that song because my voice doesn't hit the range for that song. So let somebody else sing that song. But it's not about singing a song. It's selecting a song according to what's going on and what you want to go on. I want to see a particular thing happen, so I got to know what I need to sing to make it happen. As far as we know, they got what they call puyas. Oh, what a puya. Get out of here. It's another word to throw around, puya. Get out of here. People need to get off of the romance and the fantasy with the other side. The other side is always better. The other side is always better. Puya. Puya is nothing but an insult to the Orisha. So you sing an insult to the Orisha, then you have to know a praise song to the Orisha. And why would you sing a song you don't know if it's an insult or not? That's like me these days, I choose to not to sing because I'm on pursuit of what I'm singing about. What do the words mean? That's what I'm doing now. How to sing, I've mastered that. What to sing and where to sing it, that's what my search is now. And I'm not going to let this become a job or a gig. Because number one, ain't paying enough for me to be no gig. And number two, this is a religious service. This is a community service. So therefore, you get a gratuity for singing at the church. That's what you get. You ain't getting paid. And they get trapped into $100 where I have to receive $100 or I feel cheated. Or you give me 80 and you give the other one 100 and I feel bad because you gave them more than you gave me. And this whole thing of the drummers at each other, singers at each other, you know, we're supposed to be the most well-balanced individuals of all. Because all eyes are on us. And it's only a handful of people. I wish more and more people would step up to the plate and take the responsibility of searching for this comfortable place for the caller of the Orishas. Because it's very much needed in our community. We got Ama, Ola, Ama Loriwa, and Olufemi. That's 4 women. You know any more?
Is Olufemi still singing?
Yeah, she is, but not around here. Philadelphia.
Oh, she's singing. Is she living there?
Yes. She got out of New York, went down there. Many years of working with her. We brought her into the religion. She was Balagoon's girlfriend at the time. Every time we bring somebody into the group, my money gets smaller. Every time Adi Toby came, money got smaller. Lucumi came, money got smaller. Now see, that's not the bad thing. The bad thing is Balagona's the baby. We brought him into the religion. So he's just gonna bring people in without discussing it with Akinshele and myself? No, you need to discuss these issues. You know, and then let the person coming in work their way up the ladder. They don't get no equal share just like that off the top. We don't even know if they can do it or they can't do it. See, in this, you have to earn your way, and you have to use a lot of psychology. Like Pontilla, he made it so you always had something to look forward to. He made it so he brought the desire out of you. You know, he sang so well, it wasn't how well he sung, it was how he applied himself. He made you think and want to be a part of this and want to be a part of that. He created this desire in people. That's what Pontilla had, that knowledge. He knew how to lead people. And our opponents of today are not getting any training. All they're doing is getting butted up by the crowd, and they're getting ruined because the crowd is praising them on, is giving them false praise. They ain't done no work to get that praise. And if somebody else with a good voice would come along and study and sing, these people wouldn't even look at them, wouldn't listen to them twice. Like Bembecito, we call him low fat. You know low fat? He sing with Felix. Little short little white boy, white Puerto Rican guy.
The one, not the one that we saw in the picture.
What picture?
You showed me a picture of a Puerto Rican, like,
No, I don't have no pictures of low fat in here.
Okay.
But he's a very nice guy. I mean, his approach to people in the world is just so smooth and wonderful. He's just a regular, cool kind of guy. And his voice is gorgeous. And he's learning what he's singing about. He takes the time to study this craft as an apón. I don't take the time to study. I don't take the time to study. Richard don't take the time to study because we always sitting up here worried about paying the rent. And while we're in our car, we'll put on a tape and try to memorize the tape. I might get a good tape, or I get a good tape. I say, hey man, give Alma this, make sure she got it. Here, get this to Richard. Here, Richard, this is for you. They'll say, hey David, this is for you. And when do you take an hour every day to sit and study your craft? This is your craft. The whole doggone community is dependent on you to do this. How much time do you devote to this? I can honestly tell you, there's no substantial amount of time that's being devoted to this. We're getting it on the fly. And that's not smart. Alma has one of the most gorgeous voices you ever want to hear. It's just an unusual voice, the way she curves and wiggles around the song. She deserves the best teaching there is. But you gotta go get it. You know, Richard, his voice is not an apón voice. No. Not at all. I want to put cotton in my ears and jump out the window when I hear him sing.
Really? He is good down spirit. I heard him.
Richard does not know how to sing. But he knows more about this than anybody does, I'm telling you. He's not perfect. But he takes more time to study this than anybody that I know.
I know the last culture that you made, he sang the bembe.
He sang the bembe until Pedrito came in and took over the bembe. You remember that part? I had to get off the throne and go down there and defend him. Did you remember that part? Why should I have to get off the throne to go defend you? This child kid, you was not invited here. This is not your gig. The Cubans ain't ruling here this time. This is a black American bembe. The man who's giving the bembe is right over there on the throne. That's my god brother David. And I'm the singer. My name is Richard. You want to sing a few songs, you're supposed to let him sing a few songs, but not take over the bembe. Did you see what Deity did? First of all, Deity grabbed me, Richard, and Larry and told us, he said, oh, what? All three of y'all in the backyard right now. I want to talk to all three of y'all. I said, well, what's going on? It was like, oh, shit. That what you think? He told Larry first. Then don't you when you're like walk back and don't loot. You supposed to loot everybody in the house. If you see me, you to loot and don't walk past salute special people you want to loot. You salute me, I got about the lie, I'm old enough to don't ever walk past me and don't salute again. And go salute somebody that's half my age right next to me and walk past me. She told him a new behind. Then she came over to Richard and told him, and you know Chief Bay would have never stood for that. You don't let nobody come and take over your bembe. She said, that man took your bembe from you. You don't let him do that. Chief Bay would have never stood for that. She said, I don't want to ever see that again. And then she turned to me. And you don't never let nobody destroy your beauty. Nobody make you so mad that you can't control yourself. Because Milagros was just out off the hook at that ceremony. She just didn't make any sense. And I just let it get to me so bad, I just like screamed her out the bunch. I asked, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, Richard's got to take this lady's ocha off. I said, Richard don't have to take her ocha off. There's got many priests in here that can do that. Well, why does Richard have to take her ocha off? Well, Richard, the one, he knows her name and he knows, oh, Milagros, please, come on, cut it out, y'all. Y'all got this Richard love affair that needs to stop right now. And this is my ocha. You continue the Richard love affair on tomorrow. Today, it's going to be an Obatala affair. And Richard is the only hired help to help make it happen. That's why I asked him to come here. And he should have got on the throne with us a little bit too. Show the priest part, not just I'm here as a great big singer. We're priests also.
Yes, and you know, being an apón, you must be a priest. And it's very interesting what you said, that there's so much more to being apón
Yeah.
than just singing the songs or knowing the songs.
No, you gotta be a people person.
Wow.
You have to know how to, see, first of all, you have to know how to communicate to your people, and you gotta have a voice that can reach here to way over there. You gotta be able to last. Bembecito can sing all day, all night, in any room, because he has had voice training. I told Richard he have to go get voice training, but he don't want to do what I told him. Emilio gets voice training, and he come back and tell me how bad Emilio is, because Emilio got voice. I said, Richard, Emilio is not better than you. He's only been at it longer than you, and he has more support than you have. I got tapes in here where Emilio's messing up the songs. But what they do is they excuse that. They just flip it around and just keep on going. But if Richard mess up the song, they don't even give Richard a chance to sing. Richard is up there with Puntilla. He sang one song. You ready to sing the next song, they cut him off. Why? I don't care if his voice is beautiful or not. That's not the point. If he's out there doing what's right, you don't cut him off like that. They're going to cut him off because he ain't in their little crowd. Yeah. And see, what happens is all black Americans are suffering the same thing. Amma, myself, Richard, and all the other ones. Nyota is really suffering. She's behind Iron Curtain, Big Dog, because she don't know what it is to stand out there and stand up for herself in front of all of these people with all the scrutiny. Later for the scrutiny. See, it doesn't matter if your voice is the greatest voice or not. It's, do you know what you're singing? Right. That's what's important. And since it's become this contest, or who's the greatest, and it slipped into that because we need love. And when you see this is one way to get love, by singing, and people go, oh, praising your name. I don't know whether to praise me like that if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's only because ain't nobody else doing it. When I first saw Nyota, I said, come on, honey, sing a couple of lines. Yes, you. And I ain't got time for you to go through that. Just come on up here and sing a couple of lines.
And I know she wants to.
Of course she do.
Get involved
This
with
was with the Egoon thing a couple of years ago. Ain't no politics. I'm running the show. If I say you can sing, you can sing. Stevie Lloyd didn't know nothing. I brought him up out the back of the crowd. Bill didn't know nothing. I brought him up out the back of the crowd. I forced Renard to let Ola sing. Now look at her today. You know, I fought a lot for everybody to be able to sing. That's what my involvement with the whole thing is. It's not personal. It's a really serious ancestral community thing. I really want to see us live a normal life. Normal means ups and downs, but not hiding because we so insecure that we're afraid to even start. Come on, man, that's a tragedy. And we can't support the tragedy. See, there's different levels of illness, mental illness, and you can look at a person and see which level of that they're on. They're lacking this, that, or the other. Some of the stuff is connected into depression. There's so many end results of this imbalanced thinking. I saw a program on it when I was in the hospital. It was really interesting. A lot of us are walking around with some severe illness that psychiatrists have studied these illnesses, and they see by a series of questions, they can find out which level you're on. Exactly. By the way you respond. And when they figure it out, they know that it comes from one traumatic experience or the other. The thing is to get into the root of that traumatic experience. Make sure that you understand that it's okay to have gone through that, yes, and move on. That's what a psychiatrist does. But the categories are not just privy just to the psychiatrist because he's a professional. Every human being should know basically where they are up here. And most of us don't know that. We can only take a guess by how willing we are to stand out in front of people or to confront an issue, a particular situation. And that's not how it's done. We could save ourselves a lot of money. We could save ourselves a lot of grief and a lot of heartaches by paying attention to those situations and work with each other. First work with yourself, and then work with each other. That's what I feel like we need to do right now.
And on that note, I pray that too will come into fruition at some point.
It's happening, I guess.
Little by little. But all I can say is this has been a wonderful, wonderful learning experience for me. You've taught me a great deal. And, what you have given here, I just pray that at some point it will get to others to inspire them so they too can impart that information and their talent, their skill in the area of the apons, in the area of the Omo Anya, in the area of those who want to sing and praise the Orisha through song and dance.
If something happens to Amma, myself, Richard, or Ola, then what we gonna do?
Exactly.
I mean, I ain't talking about something bad. If something good happens, suppose we move to another city. I'm moving to Ohio. Suppose Amma finds a real good situation and move to California or whatever. Then what we gonna do? Now everybody gonna rush to try to fill her shoes? See, wherever Orisha is, there's always an ongoing process of people always coming. Orisha nurtures. It doesn't stifle. It nurtures all the time. That's why it's important for us to think like Orisha people.
Well, I pray that these words get out there and inspire us to move on.
That's right. We have to move on.
And do what the talents that you have, utilize them.
Give birth all the time. Isn't that what we're always doing? Putting the leggings on somebody, giving somebody an orisha. Our whole thing is based on giving birth to something, to somebody in somebody's life. So let's give birth to some brightness and some confidence in everybody's life, some camaraderie. Let's give birth to that, the spirit of that. That's very important because we got to save ourselves. We can't wait for nobody to come and save us.